I have been reading the book of Ruth in the last 2 to 3 weeks. What a crazy story. It's a story of crazy love and deep redemption. And I'm still trying to absorb things, and I'm asking God to speak to me and give me more. Now the book starts, there was a famine in the land, and the man brought his wife and 2 sons out of the country to go to a different country for food. So I thought, okay, common reaction, right? Then I read on in the story. The husband dies. The 2 sons bring in or marry 2 women into the household, and then the 2 sons die. So now all that's left is that widow and her 2 daughter-in-laws. Now listen to this. When she heard that God came to the aid of his people by providing food for them in Bethlehem. So this widow heard that God was taking care of his people back home, and she decided to go home. And it came on me that they actually left the place not so much because of famine, because famine hit everybody in Bethlehem, but get this, they left because of fear. So maybe today I'll just talk on that. Life happens. Life flows and life happens for everybody. There are some seasons where you are in abundance. There are some seasons that are trying, and there are some seasons that you are in lack. So in the case of Ruth, the book of Ruth, right? Naomi's husband saw lack. There was famine in the land. He chose to take everything he had and left the country. How many of us can say that we have done that? Like famine or disaster or lack happens, and you pack your bags and leave. One example could be, let's talk about Malaysia. Malaysia has had political unrest for many years. We were living oppressed. We were living not in the best place. And I know of many people who have left the country, taken their children or sent their children overseas to many different countries, right? They're sending the children out of fear. What about for yourself when you are in situations that are difficult and you just want to pack your bags and leave? And in some situations, you have actually left. You could have left that relationship. You could have left your job. You could have left your home. All because there seemed to be a famine. Now, if you're experiencing famine, famine means lack of resources. Famine means dryness. Famine means potential hunger. Now, if you're in that deep, dry land, then the answer I learned from the book of Ruth is not to run away. The answer is to trust God, that God will provide all that you need. As says the verse, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not only do you trust in the Lord, trust is easy to say, but you lean not on your own understanding. So in mines, when there's a famine, you go to somewhere that's for food. How about not leaning on your own understanding, but trusting that God will lead you, God will protect you, God will guide you? And let me share my current situation. I'm also in that situation where it seems like there is famine, where it is very easy to fear, very easy to panic and pack my bags and go to different places. So sometime in the last year and a half, I've looked at migrating to different places. I've looked at migrating to Singapore, to Australia. I started looking for open doors there. But I knew it was not the right decision. There was no peace in my heart. And I knew I was just meant to be in this land at this point of time. For now, maybe for long term, I don't know. But I meant to be here, the place I was born and raised. And with that lack of peace, I have stopped all searches of looking outside, looking for greener pastures outside, and just saying, God, I trust you. I find that there is peace where I am, and I know you will provide. There are some things in your life that don't have answers. Some things I don't have answers. Some things your peers, your friends, your bosses, your managers, your leaders, your pastors don't have answers to. Say like you lost a loved one. And I had a friend who lost someone very dear to him. I was really searching the Bible up and down. I said, what do I say to somebody who goes through this time when you lost somebody so dear to you? While I didn't find an exact verse that can comfort this friend of mine, I take comfort in knowing that God sent His only Son Jesus to die for us. Therefore, I conclude that God will know what it's like to lose somebody. Not just lose somebody, but to give His only Son up for, to be beaten, to be punished, to be scourged to death. I reckon in all of the Bible, God would know how it's like to lose somebody. I'm not very sure why I'm saying this as well, but I'm being led to. That if you are grieving the loss of a loved one, it will seem that nobody around you will understand. No human can understand what you feel, exactly what you feel. They may also have lost somebody through disease, through accidents. You may ask yourself, why? Why would God take this person away so fast? I don't have answers for you. I only can comfort you in telling you that the God I preach of knows what it's like to lose somebody, not by any fault of His own. The God I serve knows what it's like to give up the one thing that matters most to you. Abraham in the Bible waited very many years for his son Isaac to come along. He was about 100 years old when Isaac came into his life. And one day God says, I want you to give Isaac to me. I want you to sacrifice him. Now in those days, you bring sheep and ram and you put them on the altar and you sacrifice that ram for your sins. So usually it's rams, it's sheep. However, that day God said, no, I want you to bring Isaac, your only beloved son, and I want you to put him on the altar and sacrifice him. Abraham obeyed. He took his son up, he bound his son, and he put his son on the altar, and he took his knife, and just as his hand was about to plunge down, God stopped him and said, stop. So I suppose another person that would know the possible grief of losing someone is Abraham. And I guess if you find that it's difficult to talk to somebody, like I do, in a lot of my tough times, I find it very difficult to talk to my peers. Most of them have not had to go through what I've gone through. I resort to reading the Bible, where you will find people in the Bible are just like you and me. They go through losses, they go through pain, and you will read how God redeems them from their pain and changes that from pain, from sorrow into victory. And right now, if you're experiencing deep grief, I pray that you will find the strength to carry on. I pray that light will find you. I pray that my God will find you. And until then, I really hope that you can just pick up a Bible. You can go online. If you don't want to buy a Bible, you can just go online. There are many online versions where you can read for free. And I pray that you be encouraged knowing that you are not alone. You were never alone, and you will never be alone if you allow God to enter your heart. The God of Ruth, the story I just read from, the God of Ruth is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is my God, and He can be your God too. All you need to do is to invite Him into your life, invite Him into where you are right now, and ask Him to make a way for you. Where man cannot, God can. Where man cannot, God can. And I pray that this video has been an encouragement to you today. May you find the strength to carry on, and may the peace of God right now just overflow into your hearts to let you know that you are not alone.